small. Wow, tiny.
You are currently listening to Tiny Table,
where we explore TTRPGs you might not have heard of.
Whether big or small, we hope to cover them all.
Because we know that great things can come in tiny packages.
Hello and welcome to Tiny Table, where no game is too small. From rules to rolling to review, we teach RPGs so you can play too. And today, we're on the very first session of a game I have been wanting to play since the beginning of this podcast. Black Mass, a game about seeking and finding in the woods of Salem by Will Jobst.
Ooh.
I'm so excited to play this game, y'all. If I could have all of my players introduce themselves by name and by their witchy title.
Hi, I'm Holly, and I'm Holly O' the Tism, as I come from a distinguished line of many artists.
Beautiful.
Holding the banner high.
Skipped a generation. A banner, man, not the air.
The true, Jon Snow of autism?
Yes, you're a bastard if you don't have autism. And all in the eyes of my mother.
Oh my god. Well, on a much tamer note, hi, I'm Skylar. My title is Skylar O. the MIDI, for what's probably pretty obvious reasons at this point.
Hi, I'm Neo, and I'm Neo O the Hound.
You got that dog in you.
I got my dog in you, that old English dog. That Baskerville looking. And I have been, and will continue to be your game mistress, Julian O' the Tome, keeper of the books. Some would call me, at some points, keeper of arcane secrets. But while that's a fitting title, that is not my role for this game. For here, I am your proctor. Perfect fucking title for this game.
Yeah, very.
I'm gonna just open real quick before we jump in with the literal, read this to your players text given at the top of the proctor section. We'll be telling the story about two people in the woods. It's the 1690s, the beginning of the Salem witch crisis, and Catherine and Lydia are deep in the forest. This story has several constants. They are alone, they are going to get where they're going, and they are dead set on getting there. We'll share these characters between us, finding out why they left, what they find, and what they do once they've completed the Black Mass. We'll each play as identities informed by their past, called personas. Each persona is unique, and you will get one for Catherine and one for Lydia each. We play in the month of February. A February game of Black Mass has cloven hooves, bloody snow, and is rated R. You've been warned. So, we begin with the prologue, the first of 3 parts that compose a game of Black Mass. Here, we will each take turns answering pointed questions to enumerate the pasts of the personas we play. Holly, will you please give me your title and description for the persona of Catherine you are embodying?
I am numbered Catherine, and I'm about the death of her brother and the thing that did it.
We begin with a draw. Numbered Catherine. When she was tending to her brother, she could see his wounds change. When his eyes clouded over, he described a figure, a place. What shape did the figure take, and what was the place? For every subsequent injury Catherine saw, or even attended to, a similar event happened. Tonight, it's happening to Catherine. What does she see? The card that we have drawn for this is Justice. Whew, fuck.
A major arcana on the first pull. Ooh.
Neo, if you would give us a visual and divinatory description of the traditional usage of justice.
A king sits upon a stone throne betwixt 2 pillars. In one hand, an upright sword. In the other, he balances the scales. Justice, equity, rightness, probity, executive.
Be influenced however you may, by the card itself, which we now place on the stack. But the questions are there for you. What shape did the figure take? What was the place? When these similar injuries occur on Catherine, what does she see? When these injuries appear, they appear tonight, the night she flees Salem.
The shape of the figure is one of a human-sized goat that stands on not 4 legs, but 2 legs. And rather than its curling horns, it is large elk horns that are shedding, the ribbons of flesh hanging off it like bloodied vines. All black with piercing red eyes.
She heard the description of such a figure babble from her brother as his wounds twisted on his body. Whenever he dealt with such injuries, whenever Catherine observed them, his eyes would shade in such a way, and he would describe another figure, another place. As a wound etches itself on Catherine, what is it she sees? And I'm curious what you think of the wound itself.
I think the place that,
Her brother described.
yes, is a large crumbling stone archway.
Ooh, nice. Is it in the middle of the woods?
It almost feels Arthurian. Something that shouldn't exist in a not long colonized Massachusetts. Something that really harkens to England and the British Isles.
I like that. I'm curious about these wounds. It's such an evocative question. What do we think they look like? In my mind, I'm seeing like lashings. Like whips.
I also see that, which I think is odd for the figure that he sees has hooves, even for hands. So there's this weird disconnect.
So the brother was given lashings that Catherine treated, and when she treated them, this is what he described. What are the wounds on Catherine when she flees Salem? Has she been lashed?
I think so. But I think there is black ooze. Almost like a black infection.
It would be interesting if they appeared right overnight with these lashings. Maybe she doesn't experience the lashing itself, they just appear.
I like
think
that.
we can leave the question of whether she was lashed or awoke lashed to find in our final seasonal question,
Okay.
which will give us the final form of the situation of their flight. So we know that Catherine has the wounds of lashings, and we know not yet their provenance. Very fun.
And I think what she sees, every bird, every rooftop, every surface that could be perched upon, ravens. All with the same glowing red eyes. All looking.
Fantastic. Does it feel appropriate to have Justice go quite close to the present card? I feel like it is kind of coming to the present moment, so it shouldn't be too far in her past. Very nice. We got
Great
some
start.
juicy stuff already. Very exciting.
Wow.
We pivot now to introduce our other character. Oh, I should note for the audience, because we hadn't given a great sense of the literal answers of who these two women are. We have, up to this point, been describing Catherine. Catherine is a 22-year-old servant from Topsfield, currently living in Salem. She is never forgotten and often alone. We now turn our camera to a persona of Lydia. Lydia is a 12-year-old girl from a big family in Salem. She is easily forgotten and often gone. And we turn now to you, Skylar. Would you please read aloud your Lydia title and description?
I am Lydia, Oh, the Melody. It is about Lydia's keening whistle, which is at once both soothing and also frightening.
Lydia, Oh the Melody. Once, Lydia lulled a drunken group to sleep at the tavern. She found she was able to affect them with the sound of her whistle. What nightmare did she inspire with her melody? Oh, 2 major arcana draws in a row. Neo, if you would prepare us a description and divinatory reading for the Hierophant. Nothing but good omens so far, y'all. Everything's going fine.
The Hierophant depicts a clergyman, the head of a church. Beneath him, 2 friars sit in reverence. The Hierophant dictates the word of authority. The Hierophant. Marriage, alliance, captivity, servitude, mercy and goodness, inspiration, the man to whom querent has recourse. The Hierophant implies head of church. It also usually means patriarchal authority.
In a very Protestant, patriarchal society.
Very true.
Very much.
So, to reiterate the question, what nightmare did she inspire with her melody that lulled these drunkards to sleep?
I think because it is the Salem sort of witch trials era, I believe all of them find themselves walking from out of the woods into the town where a large fire is taking place and a witch is on trial. As they approach, none of the faces of the gathering crowd can be made out. There's just the sound of mocking, screaming, of accusations, with a clergyman at the head leading the accusations, leading the charge, and preparing for the trial. The clergyman's face is also shadowed until each of these people, one by one, approaches them within the nightmare. And they see that as the shadows lift from all of the audience members, as well as from the clergyman, the faces are that of their own. And in recognizing this, they find themselves also upon the stake, their position switched as the flames slowly consuming them, their own faces seen just from beyond the flames, laughing, mocking, and damning them.
A journey from the wood up to the pyre itself. A very evocative dream. Faceless mirrors. Where do we think the Hierophant goes in our order? How young was Lydia when this occurred? Is this a quite recent thing?
I think this is further in the past. I think this is one of her first discoveries that maybe leads to her future of being alienated, or maybe leads to her reason for wanting to leave the town. I think this discovery is perhaps an instigating moment in her past.
I love it. And notably, a dream of the trials before the trials have begun. We're just now in this February keening our way in to the heights of paranoia that would drive these women to deaths at the hands of this society. So a vision of the future as well. A portent? A prophecy? An
Causation.
idea? A causation? Who's to say? I love blaming children for things.
Many such cases.
Any such cases, fuck them kids. We turn our attention, the last in our rotation, to Neo. Would you please read your Catherine persona?
I am Morning Star Catherine. Morning Star Catherine is about a strange lantern, reading shadow and a shining light.
Morning Star Catherine. The lantern feels odd in Catherine's hands. It grows hotter, not brighter. When she touches the flame, it burns Catherine's hands, but does not leave a mark. The lantern changes depending on the location or who's around it. Who in the town does the lantern burn hottest? And what makes it burn coldest? Your card.
Is it another?
We are at 3 major arcana pulls in a sequence.
Oh my god.
I need our audience to know that this is a very thoroughly shuffled, complete tarot deck.
Yeah, I shuffled it for like 3 minutes.
And then Julian shuffled it.
Yeah, I shuffled it again. So, yeah, we definitely shuffled these, but, darling, I regret to inform you that the tarot for this very witchy question is the moon.
Oh.
My greatest enemy.
Literally your rival of a card in real life. Would you please describe your shonen antagonist?
A little lore. When I do tarot, the moon will often show up and give me a lot of trouble. So, I have a lot of history with this card.
Hello, old friend.
Hello, old rival.
It's because you were agnostic to it in your youth.
Yeah, that's right. I'll explain that lore another time. The moon. A woman's face in a full moon sits over a winding path between 2 unknowable structures. 2 hounds bay in madness as a lobster crawls out of the water.
Some crustacean or other.
The moon. Hidden enemies. Danger. Darkness. Terror. Deception. Madness.
To reiterate the question, who in the town does the lantern burn hottest, and what makes it burn coldest?
The lantern burns hotter in darkness, primarily. In the day, it is often cold. At night, it ignites. It becomes hotter the more consumed with fear and paranoia someone is regarding the witches. Those who are most frightened, who are most accusatory, the lantern will grow hotter. For those who are more level, more calm, the lantern grows colder. It is an indicator of fervor and madness.
Hotter at night, under the light of the moon. Feel we have a couple places we could possibly put this card in our spread. Where do you feel, Neo?
I think as the Salem witch trial energy is rising, I think this lantern is a warning sign. And I think maybe Catherine finds herself noticing this lantern keeps staying hot. I think it's in the present for sure.
Like right up next to Justice?
Very close, yeah.
Nice. Ooh, so we know that this lantern has been burning hotter and hotter right up to the night that we see Catherine wounded and lashed. Whether one leads into the other or they are merely rhyming portents of what is to come, we'll see soon. But first, our first season question. For this, I draw the card and I place it face down upon the spread in the middle. The first season question will let us know about an early encounter between Catherine and Lydia. This is a communal one for answering. We'll all work together, and I'd love to get everyone's hand on the ball for some part of it. It was on a frozen lake, thawing. They were in a group, sliding on the ice. There was a crack, and someone fell through. Catherine and Lydia rushed to the hole in the ice, but the person was gone. They knew if either of them went in the water, they would be gone too. Why wouldn't Catherine explain what happened to the person's family? What did Lydia lie about? Now, how do Catherine and Lydia acknowledge each other's loss, and how did they remember them together? What was this person's name? I think we know the identity of this person to some degree. The Knight of Wands.
A man holds aloft a stave, riding a horse rearing triumphantly. He is shown, if upon a journey, armed with a short wand. Although mailed is not on a warlike errand. He is passing mounds or pyramids. Knight of Wands represents departure, absence, flight. A dark young man, but friendly. A change of residence. Yeah, he's changed his residence, all right, from living to dead.
Womp womp. Poor guy. I've placed this here kind of middle word on this timeline. As we give our communal answers to this question, we can shift it further back, closer to the present, based on where we think it fits.
In regards to a name, you all can, let me know what you think. For some reason, just Maxwell stood out to me.
Maxwell.
I think in fitting of the description of the Knight of Wands was maybe one of few townsfolk to give kindness to both Catherine and Lydia. Someone with a gentle heart and a good nature.
A man? A boy?
A young man.
Young man?
Yeah, a young man.
Maybe
between
someone,
their ages.
I was thinking someone closer to Lydia's age.
Then Catherine's? Maybe
Yes.
14, 15?
Yes, I was thinking that.
So a young man in this time.
Yes, and is there something spicy about it being the family that Catherine works for? To
Member of
explain
the
why
family.
there's a lie.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that this young man, really young boy, is like to be an apprentice. Like, I think he was about to be sent off somewhere to train or to learn something, to become a trader. I think this was
A journeyman of some sort.
a journeyman. I think this was a boy with a destiny to be a journeyman, which was cut short.
The closest thing these people would have had to a knight, right?
Yeah.
Was it title that was given to him by family or a title chosen of his own volition to escape? Because a part of me was feeling an indication that maybe while Lydia and Catherine are close to Maxwell, perhaps part of their inspiration for wanting to lie or obscure the truth is their family does not quite see eye to eye with them. And so despite having friendship or kinship with this one individual, that does not extend to those who would be concerned about his death.
Maybe he was thinking about leaving, right? Like maybe his parents
He didn't want to go. Or he didn't want to go on the journey his parents intended for him, is what you're saying?
I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking he would be a dreamer, like looking to leave. I want to leave. I want to be a journeyman.
Oh.
I want to be a...
Yes.
And family needed him in town to tend the farm and the like.
I think. Was he? This is maybe splitting hairs. Is he tending the farm if he is from the family that they have enough money to hire someone to work for them?
Probably a bigger farm, but
Fair.
most people would have been doing farm work of some sort in Massachusetts at this time.
Okay. I think Lydia dared him to go further into the lake.
If I may, I know that my character for Catherine deals a lot with specifically her family that she works for. And it gives the implication that it is one of her few cures for loneliness so that she and the family would get along. I don't know if that would mean we would want to change it from being from the family or if we would want to change to the family all being in good relationship with Lydia and Catherine, because from my indications, Catherine has a good relationship or at least a cure from loneliness in the Weymouths who she works for.
Why would they not be in a good relationship? Because isn't this whole question about why they're lying and not telling the truth about the situation?
I feel like the question is I think they maybe had a good relationship. I think this is possibly an inflection point towards tension. It was under Catherine's watch that this happened. Maybe things aren't quite so friendly after the boy dies.
I think that I feel strongly for that.
Okay, no, I can see that. It adds a layer of complexity.
So to make sure we've got some stuff clear, Lydia is a friend of Maxwell's. Maxwell is a child of the family Catherine works for. Maxwell wanted to leave. He wanted to leave Salem. He had maybe confided this maybe to Lydia, maybe to Catherine, maybe to both of them, but had not necessarily told his family. His family expected him to grow up and live here. It was Lydia who sent him further onto the ice on a dare, and in the wake of the fall, there were lies. Why couldn't Catherine explain what happened to the person's family, is the first of those questions. Is the lie about Lydia's prompting?
Yeah, it would rat Lydia out.
Yeah.
Their family would get super mad at her family.
Yeah.
It would cause more tension, more problems, and it would make Lydia guilty. They could punish her, they could, who knows what they would do. So that was a secret they decided to keep. I want to think about how they mourn this and how they keep this secret. I think they can't build a grave, but as each day the ice thaws, they visit the lake and they tread not on the ice, they stand from the shore and mutter quiet words of prayer.
The two questions were, why can't Catherine explain, and what lie does Lydia tell? Are these necessarily in tandem? Would it be possible that Catherine cannot explain because she was not fully there to witness the event and only came after the crashing of the ice?
I have, I think, a juicier one.
Ooh, yeah.
And it has to do with my Lydia thing. I think Lydia knew there was a good chance the ice would break.
Okay.
Because Lydia once fell into a lake, but came out with a little toad.
Ooh. I think we are good to leave this in just a little bit of ambiguity and continue to simmer as we head into the next round of questions, because Lydia the Toad is next on the stack. So that is what we know for certain. The three of them were out on the lake, on the ice together. Lydia dared Maxwell go deeper. Maxwell fell in, and in the aftermath, Catherine lied to the family, absolving Lydia of the guilt. And Lydia's lie, in turn, to answer your question, Skylar, was that she wasn't present, or...
I think it's just more simple. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen.
Yeah.
One moment he was there, the next he fell through the ice.
Simple as. And now, in the time since, they remember him together on the shore of the lake. That same lake that is also relevant to Lydia the Toad.
Lydia the Toad is about Lydia's soundless, odd pet.
Lydia the Toad. Beneath the vernal pool, Lydia opened her eyes and saw plant matter, murky water, and something dead beneath. What was it, and where does Lydia recognize it from? Oh, the King of Cups.
Ooh.
Lydia, girly.
I'm a haunting girl child.
The King of Cups. A man sits on a stone throne. He holds a short scepter in his left hand and a great cup in his right. His throne is set upon the sea. On one side, a ship is riding, and on the other, a dolphin is leaping. The implicit is that the sign of the cup naturally refers to water, which appears in all of the court cards. Divinatory meaning. A fair man, a man of business, law, or divinity. They are responsible. disposed to oblige the querent. It also deals with those who are into science, the arts, and creative intelligence.
Now, is this question supposed to be of the event where Lydia found her toad? Or are we taking some liberties with it of maybe Lydia continues to go back to the lake? Because I have two interesting ideas for both that I think I would love to, as we're all playing Lydia. The one idea is if this is happening, which we have set the toad thing farther in the past than the season, is that, and it's actually given Lydia's propensity to be able to induce nightmares, maybe she saw a dead Maxwell before Maxwell was dead.
I fuck with that pretty heavy.
'Cause
not I'm visiting the corpse after he dies, but when I swam in the lake the last summer, he was already down there.
Yeah, that's
my
hard.
God.
That's hard.
Dude.
Because when you were describing the dead thing, I was like, it's Maxwell, it's Maxwell, it's Maxwell.
So it's definitely Maxwell down there.
Yeah.
I really like your idea that it's not after his death, but before.
Setting it beforehand
That's
is
so
really
good.
interesting.
Oof. Is this before or after she induces the dreams in the men?
I think it's before, right? I think this is an early omen. She doesn't know what to do with it, but later, as she receives more of these grim portents, she gains more control over her own power to induce them in others.
What do you think, Scott?
See, my thought was that it was actually after that the whistling the men to sleep was the first instance of her having some sort of divinatory ability or some sort of, hypnotic awakening. And then from that point on, she starts to see these visions after accidentally casting these men into a nightmare. But I think it can function either way.
I feel like if the men being cast into the nightmare is definitely a kind of a reason for her to probably be spending less time in town, more time out and about, more time swimming. So
I think I
could see
like
either.
the idea of it being this accident and almost Lydia looking for answers.
Looking for answers beneath the lake.
I think just like in her thoughts and going around, because the idea is that she is like, when she finds the toad, she doesn't mean to go into the lake. She falls into it, like the mud gives way underneath and she falls in. And she comes back up at night with Buttons the toad.
And while she was under is when she saw Maxwell.
So I think the whistling is first, and then that.
Oh, this is so good. On the spread, as we have it, the Hierophant precedes the King of Cups, and then the Knight of Wands bridges the King of Cups, that portent of Maxwell's death, into the death itself, and subsequently into the moon and the lantern's shine. Ooh. So with that lovely sequence on the table, we pivot now to Skylar, your Catherine persona.
I am Dulcimer Catherine. Dulcimer Catherine is about hypnotic music and the strangers that are attracted to it.
Dulcimer Catherine. Sometimes a quiet figure would stay with the Weymouths. Catherine never caught his name, but whenever she played, he spoke with a ragged voice. These quiet speeches were vivid and wild, and as he spoke, Catherine was unable to stop playing. She would lose track of time and place. What did this man want? And what promise will she break for him?
Whoa.
Your card is the Page of Swords.
Ooh.
We haven't drawn a single just number of blank yet. It's been Major Arcana and face cards only.
Spicy.
This is crazy.
The cards always tell the best tales. The Swords is great. It's an action house. Let's see. The Page of Swords. A lithe, active figure holds a sword upright in both hands while in the act of swift walking. Divinatory meanings. authority, overseeing, vigilance, examination.
A witch hunt?
Yeah, a witch hunt.
Yeah. Authority and overreach.
Yeah.
Whew. Nice, calm little portent we've got there for you, Skylar. So as a reminder, what did this baleful man, giving vivid and wild, quiet speeches, a man who, when he spoke, the play could not stop, what did he want, and what promise will she break for him?
I think what this man wants is for Catherine to play. I think what this man wants is music. Not so much in the simple terms of just Catherine playing the dulcimer. Music can be found anywhere. Music can be found in the chirpings and flittings of birds. It can be found in the wind blowing betwixt tree branches, creating a rhythmic percussion that sings a song for the soul. I think this man's idea of music and what he wants is an embodiment of chaos and of the natural world and order, and for all people, Catherine included, to be a part of that natural chaos, that natural rhythm. I imagine that as he speaks, though she continues to play, the song always becomes unrecognizable, regardless of what sheet music she may be reading from, or what song she may be playing from. And I think the promise that she will break for him is... My idea was it was a promise to keep Lydia safe. I think the idea of putting tension between the two characters and her sacrificing the other's safety to fulfill this man's wish of continued play, of a continued song, that she will play her dulcimer even in a moment of Lydia's peril, despite promises that they may have made to keep one another safe, especially if we assume this event happens after the fall of Maxwell, where Catherine has protected Lydia once and promises to maybe make a habit of that. Though maybe the promise is more vague, and the promise that she is willing to break is to keep just a loved one safe, and she does not yet know what that means if we want to put this somewhere in the past.
Well, the meaning of the man is far in the past. It's in her previous employment, when she stayed with the Weymouths. She stays with the Carey family now. So she's known this man likely longer than she ever knew Lydia. He's a figure in the past for her. And I think the current promise of keeping Lydia safe is what will come back when the music finds its rhythm in her again.
Oh, interesting. I was not aware that Catherine was serving a different family, because I know, because in my description for Dulcimer, Catherine says that several nights a week she works for or serves the Weymouths still.
Oh, really?
That was the
Catherine isn't
implication.
completely isolated. She spends several nights a month at the Weymouth house cleaning, drinking, and playing the hammered dulcimer.
It does mention going beyond a curfew, so is she revisiting an old house?
So she's worked with the Weymouths in the past, and though the Carey are her primary employers right now... Oh, Carey primary, that's cute. The Weymouths still employ her intermittently and still bring her in. Ooh.
Okay, that's good
Very
context.
curious.
So that means Maxwell would be from the Carey family, is what we're assuming. Okay. I was assuming that she was still with the Weymouths, which is where I was having a bit of conflict between her and Maxwell being with the Weymouths, who I saw she was on good terms with. Like, they were her cure for loneliness.
The Weymouths she's probably a little more willing to spend a little more time at the Weymouth house now in the recent times.
Okay, that colors a lot. That's filled in a lot for me. Okay, that was a lot of context I didn't previously have.
Do we agree that the Page of Swords itself can go early on the spread to indicate that this man has been a figure in her life for a long time?
I think so. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to maybe add a further clarifier or modifier that based on the description, this man seems to come around whenever she is playing or whenever she is staying at the Weymouths. But any other time, she has searched their hometown high and low for signs of this man and cannot find him. Someone who maybe does not actually live within the residence of, I'm assuming we're in Salem? Yeah.
A pilgrim.
Yes, so Salem is where the Carey family lives. Salem is where Lydia was born, and Catherine spends the majority of her time in Salem, but she is from Topsfield originally, so it seems fitting that the Weymouths are in Topsfield and the Careys are in Salem.
Interesting.
Ooh, juicy, juicy. Everything's gonna go so well. Everything's gonna go so smooth. There's a mysterious gentleman who compels her to infinite play.
And will compel her to break a promise of protection.
This guy just seems so nice. He's got a fiddle and everything. I met him on the side of the road. Great smile, goatee. What's not to love?
A real handsome devil.
Real handsome guy. We come to our final personification. Would you read your Lydia title, Neo?
I embody Lydia o' the Moonpiece. Lydia o' the Moonpiece is about tracking the heavens, whether or not it's what you can see.
Lydia o' the Moonpiece. The timepiece is gilded with intricate metalwork on the back and the sides. It shows a tableau of violence that never looks the same twice. Lydia often sees herself in the goldwork. Who else is pictured here? What is happening in the metalwork? Gah. Temperance.
Oh.
Oh my god.
The streak continues.
The card of Temperance shows a holy angel pouring water between two cups over a serene pond.
Or a lake, perhaps.
Or a lake, perhaps. Temperance, economy, moderation, frugality, management, and accommodation. Temperance is about, you guessed it, temperance.
That's about doing your taxes.
Everyone remember.
Everyone remember. When this publishes, it'll be so far past tax season.
And if you haven't, oh boy.
Oh no.
You better have filed for that extension.
So here, Temperance informs what is seen in this tableau of violence in her gilded timepiece. Who else is pictured alongside Lydia on the watch? What is happening in the metalwork?
I think the images of violence that often show are those related to vice. They're warnings to be cautious. They're cautionary tales. And I like to think that perhaps there is a repeating motif of a devilish man with elkin horns who is often the center of these chaotic scenes.
You say the center. Is he enacting, receiving, or observing the violence? Does it change, or is it always the same?
He is punishing, judging, and observing these instances of violence. These tableaus seem to warn Lydia not to fall into sin.
She's in the tableau somewhere. Is she enacting the violence? Is she a cautioned observer? Does she ever see herself acted upon violently in these images?
I think so. I think Lydia is both a subject and perpetrator of violence.
She sees her face mirrored both in the audience and on the stake.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We got them all cooking together. Oh, baby. Where do we feel this belongs in our order?
I feel like this is an old thing she has.
An old thing she has, yes. It very much ties... I mean, if this is where that comes from, then perhaps even preceding the dream placed in the minds of the men, the visions she sees disseminated. Is this our earliest card in Lydia's timeline?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, baby. Terrifying.
Girl child.
Haunting girl child, no.
Haunting girl child and her mysterious timepiece. I can't read the alethiometer.
I just show it to Buttons.
I was about to make a frog sound, but Buttons is silent.
Let's all make the button sound.
Skylar, could you add some buttons, Wally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Great.
Well said, Buttons.
Okay, with that, we come to our final question. The question that will send these two into the woods. Tonight, the sky is starless. Tonight, Catherine and Lydia are running. While Catherine and Lydia met in the graveyard after midnight, 2 people died. The screams of one were deafening. The other was found days later. Where were they discovered? How did Catherine and Lydia sneak out of town? And where did the minister see them on the way? By the time the minister enters the woods, they are already miles deep. The card. Our only numbered card. The 8 of Wands.
The 8 of Wands is a very silly looking card because it is 8 wands in a blue sky.
Beautiful.
Listen, Ryder and Wait were getting real tired by the end of the sequence. They were like,
"Alright,
fucking
there's-
8, there's just 8 of them in a row. Who's carrying them? Nobody.
The 8 of Wands. The card represents motion through the immovable, a flight of wands through an open country. Divinatory meanings. Activity in undertakings. The path of such activity. Swiftness, as that of an express messenger. Great haste. Great hope. Speed, towards an end which promises assured felicity. One who is on the move.
Oh my god, the trials have totally begun.
They're fleeing tonight.
They're fleeing tonight. I think the person who's screaming is the first witch that gets burned in Salem.
And I think we can totally veto this.
Please.
I think the body that they see in the lake. Come on.
Come on, it's in the lake. It's in the
He
lake.
floats up.
Is the face of the music man. The one that always urges Catherine on. Now, I don't necessarily think this means that he's actually dead.
But when Maxwell's body comes up, breaking through the ice, that's the face on the body.
Oh.
Ooh, that's even cooler. I thought it was just gonna be the music man in the water.
I like the idea that it's Maxwell, but he has a different face.
We've been playing around a lot with changing faces. I feel like this is the time to bring it home.
I like that.
Oh, this is so scary. So, we've answered where the hidden body was discovered. That's Maxwell's corpse with the music man's face. The screams, the person who dies that night, is a witch. Who is this witch? Who's to say? Being burnt at the stake, the first of the Salem witches to burn. We still need to know, how did Catherine and Lydia sneak out of town, and where did the minister see them on the way?
I see the picture so clearly
Please.
in my mind. The minister stands in front of the burning witch behind him. He is sermonizing to the crowd. Everyone is in pitched fervor, yelling, screaming, mocking, jeering, same exactly from the nightmare. And the two look to each other, realize what is happening, and run. They literally just turn and run that moment in that trial, at that burning. And the minister, the one who is looking to the crowd, sees them leave.
And he sees Catherine and Lydia turn and flee, but he is mid-sermon. He can't just stop in front of this entire crowd. The crowd in this moment feels vindication, excitement, jubilation. Such horrible things have happened in Salem recently, and surely, with the burning of this one witch, surely it's all going to come to an end. This is not a people who have yet burned 30 women. This is a people thinking they're at the end of a job well done. They don't know how ugly they are to become in the coming months and years. In this moment, as Lydia and Catherine flee, the minister knows not, but he sees the long road ahead of him. He sees that there is more than one witch in Salem who must be purged. And as he begins to pack, Lydia and Catherine are deep, deep in the woods. And we will rejoin and see how these woods bear in portents and in prophecies on the way to their inevitable Black Mass on the next episode of Tiny Table.
Hi, and thank you for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, then we'd really appreciate if you left us a review. If you really like what we do here and want to support us further, you can join us at patreon.com/tinytablepodcast. Our business email is also open for inquiries at tinytablebusiness@gmail.com, and all of our socials can be found in the episode description for any shenanigans you might want to follow. Till next time, see ya!
Welcome to the Shout Out Corner. This week, I have shuffled Holly's tarot deck, and I'm just going to be straight up pulling one of these for each one of you and reading from this little illuminated tarot 53 card divination and gameplay manual by Caitlin Keegan. Here we go. For Drake, the 7 of Cups. This is about secrets, imagination, and new feelings. For E.G., we have the Queen of Cups. This is about fertility and responsibility to nature. For Jade, we drew the one major arcana that I think is in this book, Joker, the Fool, which is about freedom and fearlessness. Jordan, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is a choice of security over risk and enjoyment of wealth. Cly, for you we have the 3 of Cups. It's about a party or celebration. Logan, for you I've drawn the 6 of Pentacles. This is about charity, harmony, and cooperation. Nancy, for you we have the Jack of Cups. This is about unconscious thoughts coming to the surface and contemplation. Sparky, I've drawn for you the Ace of Swords. This is about focus and clarity. Tammy, you are going to have the 9 of Pentacles. This is about sacrifice without regret and self-care. The first 4 notes of Megalovania, we have the Jack of Wands. This is about the enthusiastic pursuit of a new venture. Exciting. And lastly, thy Dungeon Gal, who I have drawn the 5 of Cups. This is about learning from mistakes and moving forward. Well, that ends this reading. I hope you all go forward with grace in your newfound wisdom and insights thanks to this tarot deck. With that, we'll see you next week. Take care.